We're here today at the Facebar in Reading with SKAM, part of your Planet Rock tour, I believe. Right. And well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us at Two Finger Media. This is the first time you guys have played Reading?
It is, yeah.
And the last, or?
So far, so good. There's Desperados on the rider.
So that's a big tick plus point.
It's been one of those places where loads of people have messaged us before and said, "Why don't you come to Reading?" And for some reason, we just never had the opportunity, really.
I think there's a limited amount of places you can actually play and get a decent response from in Reading. This particular place, the Facebar, it's so much potential, and we've had some really great bands down there. Alex done a fantastic job bringing bands down.
He's a great promoter.
And we just need more of it.
Yeah.
And it's great to see you guys finally down here. Like you say, your first visit, hopefully not your last. How's the tour been so far? Because you're quite a way into it now, aren't you?
Yeah, it's been great. We started a couple of weekends ago. It's been an interesting tour for us because we've done it slightly different this time around. So last time we toured, we did sort of 2 solid weeks, but we've broken it up quite a lot on this tour, hitting more weekends and trying to space it out a little bit. And so far, so good. It's going really well.
And it gives people more opportunity to come out as well, doesn't it?
That's right. I mean, we know how it is.
It's a really busy time of year as well. I mean, obviously with the festival circuit, just used to be the summer, but you're having all these residential festivals that are popping up, and people are, there's only so much cash you have. You could literally be out every night.
And we're literally right on top of Christmas as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And October, November, December seems to be a time that loads of bands tour as well.
Yeah. Well, March and April's the same, isn't it? Because
exactly.
it's coming back out at Christmas, and that's when again these residential festivals.
Yeah,
are
sandwiching the festival.
Yeah,
basically,
everyone's it's like a constant now.
So how did the collaboration with Planet Rock come about? Did they contact you guys and say, look, we want to put this tour on? How did that work?
Well, we've done a couple of things in the past for Planet Rock, and obviously every band aspires to get the music out there, and we've sent them a couple of tracks, and maybe the first single off the new record got picked up for a bit of play, and then the year before that we played Winter's End, the Planet Rock Festival.
That's down in Poole, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. There's a top geezer at Planet Rock there called John Norman, and he's a top bloke, and he looks after us and does really well for us. And so when the album came out, we started talking to them about possibly doing something together and putting together this tour, and they were happy to get on board.
Nice.
It all started. We were going to. Rockstock is obviously part of the tour, so we were going to do like the Thursday night golden ticket, weren't we? But then we kind of got the heads up that we can be moved on to like the main stage on the Friday. So then we kind of incorporated it into the tour and just kind of made sense. It's almost like the road to Rockstock.
This is only about another 3 weeks, isn't it? Rockstock, something like that?
Yeah, and December the 30th, isn't it? No, November the 30th.
Yeah, so it's,
But Wyatt as well, Wyatt's been good, and he's always championed us on his new rock show, and kind of hoping it's the start of a nice partnership with Planet Rock.
They're good guys, aren't they? They're starting to play a lot more kind of new bands. And
they seem to be taking a lot more on board, but it must be nice for you guys to have that kind of support from a major radio station that people actually listen to and enjoy the music on.
Absolutely.
And it must be sort of give you almost like a warm feeling, but this is so
It does,
of course. And it helps massively as well,
Yeah, I mean, the exposure must be great from it. I mean, your latest album, The Amazing Memoirs of Jeffrey Goddard, is that right? Did I get that right?
That's it.
That's about a year ago today, roughly, isn't it?
I think
last November?
I literally think it's today, the album launch. It's got to be around this time. Maybe it was the 18th instead, but
so
it's been out almost
pretty
much
close
a year.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I've read about that album, it's got critical acclaim. It's amazing. People have said how wonderful, how much they enjoy it. Like you say, Planet Rock picked out singles from it. Can you explain to me? I mean, I'm sure people already know, but the significance of Jeffrey Goddard.
Well, it was obviously a long process gone into the album. It started with just thinking we want to do something a bit different to what we see. Everyone just releasing an album, which is fine, but I think it might have started with me or you. We read a story about a real life RAF pilot called Victor Goddard, who kind of finished his time in the RAF and then decided that he'd travel through time in his plane and started writing books about all this. So that was kind of the inspiration behind it, and we kind of just went with that and ran with it. changed his name slightly so we didn't get in trouble.
So this is his second cousin.
Yeah.
But basically, it is about this guy, and he basically said that he travelled through time in his plane, and we ran with that, and then every song is a different place that he went to. So
we spend a lot of time in the van, you know. So when we're on the road and we're chatting amongst ourselves, and we agreed that we wanted to do a concept record, and so we banded around loads of ideas about a concept and what we could possibly write it about. And then, like Neil said, this story came, and it was a real life story about a guy, and he published actually a report that he believed he'd travelled through time, and we just sort of latched onto that and rolled with it.
And I mean, the graphics, the backdrop, the drums, it's amazing artwork, and it really sort of punches right at you. And I mean, today is Remembrance Sunday, 100 years.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's almost like it has more significance than ever today, just to see that Spitfire.
Without a doubt.
You know, and it's strong. It's a strong sort of message.
Again, I don't want to sound like we're blowing our own trumpet too much, but we're kind of like old school rock fans, you know. And growing up, and me and Matt were listening to, and Neil, to be fair, we were listening to like Iron Maiden and bands of that sort of ilk, and Guns N' Roses, and it was a time where we felt like the imagery and everything was equally as important as the music, and we really wanted to do something that was
it used to
awesome in that way.
When I was a kid, you could not wait to buy that vinyl album.
Yeah.
Mainly for the artwork.
Yeah.
Secondary for the music, and thirdly for the inner sleeve. You might get a poster shoved in, you might get something special. But I mean, as a kid, Appetite for Destruction, the original.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was just like, wow.
It's something that's been lost through the digital download. It's just that we're just that throwaway age. I mean, we're a bit older.
It's coming back, though.
It is coming back.
It is coming back, but it's coming back to it's coming back to the generation that were originally there.
Yeah.
Your kids are growing up, and you're thinking, I'm going to go out and buy a vinyl. I mean, let's be honest, the 18 to 25-year-old market not buying records. Still not. They're still illegally downloading music.
Yeah.
No, they are. It's
I
true.
know.
And that's one of the issues, isn't it? You know, if you can kind of break that, but then you talk about Planet Rock. You know, it's this flip side. That's Radio 1. You know, Radio 1 still have that huge presence and still break a band within that age gap.
They do, but
I don't think 18-year-olds listening to Planet Rock radio, are they?
But it still seems to come down to money at the end of the day.
Yeah,
which I think has never changed over the years.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I still think, perhaps 80s and 90s rock was just slightly different. Even Oasis with the Britpop invasion in the 90s, that was still an organic process. It may not be rocking music, but it was kind of,
I mean, I remember
support that.
The old Now albums, when the original one came out, I think it was 83 or 84. But when they brought up like Blur, Oasis and that, you used to get all like the dance stuff on the first CD and then the good stuff on the second CD.
Yeah.
You used to get all like Charlatans and all that. Like, used to stuff that you actually wanted to listen to. So that was a good thing about that. But
that wouldn't happen now, though, would it?
No.
You know what I mean? There's not a rock band on a Now album now.
I mean, there's a big furore at the moment about that guy on X Factor. Because he's singing rock, and it's like everybody's using him to champion rock music. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Last week, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you talking as well about saying like Iron Maiden, you grew up listening to those sort of guys. I know their recent tour, they had the Spitfire, didn't they, on stage as well.
I was gutted. They stole our idea.
You're allowed to sue them. If they're watching, you can always, try and recompense. So the last album was your third studio album?
Third studio album,
And you've also brought out a live album last year. Mm-hmm. Why was that? Is that something you guys always wanted to do, or was it just, how did that come about, the live album?
It was, again, going back to the good old days where bands were bringing out a live album because of recording. You couldn't record, you couldn't get that power. So bands like Kiss Alive and The Who and stuff like that, they made them albums to show the power. So we kind of had a similar idea with that, didn't we? I mean, obviously modern recording techniques, so albums always sound thick, but you still got that energy, that raw energy. And we're really proud of that live album because what you hear is the reality of what happened.
There's some mistakes on that album. It was a gig.
You want people to listen to it and experience it how they would have done if they're stood in front of you.
I love listening.
And that's the best way.
As a band member, my favourite part of that live album is listening to the crowd and hearing them sing along, and that's.
But like you say, mistakes happen, but you recover from that, and that makes you remember that night for certain things. Whether your amp blows or anything.
Your amp actually did blow up.
It did, yeah.
Because we thought we might have to can it, but it turned out okay in the end. But that's what a live album's about for me. If you're just basically going in and polishing it up afterwards, you're just doing another studio album, aren't you? So
Yeah.
We just hit record and did it.
In a weird, this will sound very sort of like morbid, like morose almost, but you never know how long what we've got going on is going to last, you know. So
you want to capture it.
We want to capture it, yeah. And we've got a disc which has got it's a sold out home show, you know, people singing along. We've got that on disc forever, and I think that's just amazing, really.
And like you say, it's there for all to take. No one can take it away.
Yeah.
So it'll always be on Amazon or somewhere. Somebody
That's right. It's not selling on eBay for £1.
That is the good thing about the internet, isn't it? That kind of outlet of music.
The lasting ability.
You think about what's been captured. You know, YouTube is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So your grandkids will be able to watch you on YouTube. I know there's obviously stuff uploaded now, but you think of the Beatles generation, if that was there then, it would have changed everything.
I think they've just re-released the White Album, haven't they? They've remastered it or something.
It'll be constant, won't it? They're all being remastered, aren't they? Released on a 180 gram vinyl again. Yeah. So they're on the second vinyl turn then, guys.
I was talking to Charlie Starr a couple of years ago, Blackberry Smoke lead singer, about YouTube and about fan videos and stuff. Because I take videos, but I make sure that the phone I use has got fantastic audio. Yeah. I hate anything that's distorted. No, I can forget it. So I'm always pleased with what I take, but there's some on there that are really horrendous. Yeah. And we was chatting about it, and he was saying, I don't like listening to it when it's bad.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's all publicity. But he would rather watch a decent.
So true. You know? It is so true.
What publicity? You know, the PR side of things. There's certain stuff you can't buy, can you? No. So if a fan's gone to a gig and recorded something and it goes viral on YouTube, bands have been made that way.
I mean, you were just talking about this fake band. You know,
absolutely.
It's gone viral and the guy's done that.
Exactly.
Yeah. He'll be. Yeah.
He's famous.
Yeah.
I mean,
isn't he, for what he's doing? That's why you think he's going to play Download.
He'll be at Download 2019. You heard it first.
I mean, going back to the old days though, when touring and stuff, record companies, etc., you'd get an amount of money beforehand. They'd pay for your accommodation and you get an advance and all this sort of stuff. Nowadays, I'm guessing merchandise is kind of the main money maker for most bands.
Definitely.
It's a mixed bag, isn't it? I think. Like, obviously, merch helps. Don't get me wrong, but then we've not got the buying power that the bigger bands that obviously make more out of that. It's just trying to negotiate something that works.
There's a lot of new bands seem to use pledge, don't they? Yeah, that sort of thing. I guess that's handy. At least the money's there, ready.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, again, things have just changed. I mean, we've never really done that. We did a pre-order on the last album, but then the album was already made, wasn't it? It's not. Yeah, you kind of like people are pledging to then go and make the album.
Yeah.
Where for us it was just about pre-order and just doing some.
Whatever bundle you want.
Yeah, bundles and extra stuff that was pre-order only. Yeah.
I mean, talk about festivals earlier. What have you guys actually done this year, festival-wise? Has it been busy or?
Not been that busy this year with festivals, have we really?
I'm trying to think.
We've got Rockstock was always a big one coming up, but there's just so many now. There's a festival every weekend, so
there's a lot of small. Yeah,
put more than 4 bands on in a day and it becomes a festival.
There are some great little festivals.
Well, I love Rambler Man. I know you guys played Rambler Man last year, was it?
Last year.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me is one of the major festivals that I enjoy.
That was an awesome day.
Because the Rising Stage and the whole concept of that whole Rising Stage, I mean, it's inside now. I mean, probably when you played, it was outside.
When we were there, it was great because it was right by the entrance.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's just perfect. Everyone walks in and they're like straight there.
I love the fact that they give the bands that they give the chance to get on that stage and it's always packed.
What Bruce is doing and what he started with that Rising Stage is epic because it's a real good outlet for rising bands.
And they seem to go on well from it as well. There seems to be a good sort of after effect.
It's just that extra exposure. You're playing in front of that amount of people. Hopefully they go home, they'll buy Goddard. When they listen to Goddard, hopefully they'll buy a couple of other albums or a t-shirt or whatever. And
spend a couple of £100 on your first
Absolutely.
CD if they can find it.
There's a couple of really cool little festivals going on. I mean, I feel like Loughborough was really good. And
that's down in New Forest.
Yeah, that was the setup there was mega. It was only their first year. We're going to play there again next year.
We were meant to do Wildfire, weren't we? But that's sadly.
Was that the Scotland?
Yeah, Wildfire was good. We'll talk about Rockwitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Rockwitch today. Yeah, we're playing that next year, but we've played that before. That's another great one.
I think I've seen the poster for this year.
It's you get a couple of hundred people in a room, and they're all there for the same reason. They are,
for the music. Yeah, exactly. They're not there to sort of get one up on somebody else's show off. It's just they're there to see you guys.
Yeah.
And that's what you want, a captive audience.
Absolutely.
But also a captive audience that have not seen you before.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You know, that's
The plan is
idea.
to kind of hit all them next year, isn't it? All them
Yeah. The album's been out a year, so hopefully, you know, with the run we've had on the singles and the support, we're hoping to get on the, you know, things like Rambling Man, Steelhouse, Download, Leeds, Reading,
Steelhouse is a great festival.
Isle of Wight.
The trouble with Steelhouse, I mean, this year not so bad because they moved Rambling Man, didn't they? But previous years it's been on the same weekend.
Yeah.
And it's been a pain.
Again, it's a difficult thing. I mean, with the amount of festivals that are coming out, I mean, Hard Rock Hell, yeah.
Which one is like 50 of them? Now?
Exactly, so there's always something going on. And there's a lot of people to go around, but, you know, I don't think that's necessarily true when people have got a certain budget, and it is the same faces you do see, isn't it?
Was it Stone Deaf is another new one?
Yes, that's a Newark.
Yeah.
They had some decent bands on there.
They got some good bands going
Rock and
on.
Blues Custom Shows, another one.
So that's a great one, we played that before.
That must be just north of you guys.
Yeah.
Is it Derby, something like
Yeah,
that?
it's Derbyshire.
Have we done that?
Yeah, Rock
we
and
did
Blues,
that.
yeah.
Bulldog Bash, we did that.
Yeah, we've done. Well, I think we've pretty much done everything
Which one's the one
apart from
we're playing
Download
next year
over
at
the years.
Skeggy?
Yeah, see the Skegness ones, the residential ones, and that's the Blues and Rock Festival. We've done Giants
Oh,
Rock.
yeah. Giants
We're
Rock.
doing Legends of Rock in Great Yarmouth.
Yeah.
You know, and again,
Like I say, the list is endless now. It's getting more and more.
it's one every weekend, and they're not cheap, are they? You know, a couple of £100 for your caravan, and you know, all of a sudden, guys need to remortgage their house just to come out and support.
Yeah, marriages are falling apart. But you've still got both the couples going just separately.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I mean, you like I say, tour in the UK at the moment. Have you guys toured Europe much, or is it something you've yet to do?
We've never done it, have we?
No.
We've never done it.
Is it something you want to like to do? And
Yeah, absolutely. We've done Hard Rock LIB, that's about the only time really, but the European thing, it's just logistics, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at our level, no one knows who we are in
It's
France.
a scary
so
prospect, isn't it?
it'd have to be a good support slot to invest the time and money into.
Scary and
to do it.
exciting. You know, we'd love to go.
yeah, because it's so close. It's almost like within your grasp.
Yeah.
Isn't it? 27
It's definitely
holes, it's like-
something we're going to do.
Oh, yeah,
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because on Facebook you get the odd message, you know, like we should come to France and Spain, and you just think, oh, should we go? But like Matt said, you've just got to have the right offer, really.
So it'd be handy to have a decent support slot.
We could do
That's
that.
exactly.
We could do it that
for
guy's
us.
done.
Yeah, Fill the whole of Europe, yeah.
Yeah, but I actually want to play good gigs.
Yeah, I know. That's
But you know, bands, we've seen bands do it. They'd get the European tour for that. You know, a band that's doing 2,000 tickets a night.
Well, we just
Off you go. you
Gin
know.
and Honey. Well, they.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
always
that's
the downside of it. As well,
That is the
so-
complete flip
Bless
side
them.
of it, isn't it?
that's a heartbreaking story, though.
It is, but it's also a massive positive the way people rally together.
Oh yeah.
You know, it sort of gives you that confidence in human nature and sort of rock fans that happens.
Yeah.
Well, what, you know, we talk again in the van. We talk about it all the time, but at the minute there's a definite scene going on at the minute. So I feel it more now than ever since we've been playing. There's a lot of people. Matt's right though. You see a lot of the same faces, but there's like a hardcore group of people that are investing their lives and their own cash, and they want to come out and support new music. And
Probably
it's
got
good.
50 different T-shirts, you know.
Oh,
and that's
yeah.
just,
Yeah.
I think that new wave of classic rock, the whole concept that's brought together as well. The amount of people that I spoke to that have joined that and gone, oh, I never knew about these guys, never knew about that, and it's almost like everyone's discovering everybody else's
Yeah.
likes.
There's a couple of SKAM fans that they'll turn up to shows and we talk to them and they're just so dedicated, and I suppose proud of them in a way, but they are they are an exemplary example. You know, they go around like Ian and Alison. They're doing 7 gigs on our tour, but it's not just that. They're going everywhere in between. They're doing Wagons, they're doing Those Damn Crows, you know, and then like Miranda, and you know they're just out all the time. And Ian and Helen Laird,
They go to more gigs than us.
Gary and Helen are probably
Yeah.
the prime example of crazy
unbelievable.
super fans.
Yeah.
They must be doing 300 gigs a year.
they're more gigs than we do.
Who would you want to tour with?
I personally would choose a band called Electric Mary, and a few years back, you made me remember. Do you remember Classic Rock started a label, Powerage Records?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And they did a sampler, and there was a track there by Electric Mary, and I promptly went out and bought their entire back catalogue, and they're an Aussie band. They are formidable.
Are they one of these guys, or one of these bands that can go to like Eastern Europe and everybody just goes crazy for them? That sort of.
They somehow have these territories. You know, they come over and they're from Melbourne, and they'll suddenly announce that they're doing 10 dates in Spain, and and people come out and see them, and they are amazing.
The thing is with Electric Mary is they're just formidable.
Yeah.
So people will watch them for the first time, and we were the same. Like,
Yeah.
This is incredible. Like, they're so good musically in that sense that people were just like, I want to see this band again.
If we were to take away all of your sort of, what am I trying to say? Your expected influences of lads like us that grew up in the 90s, the top influence on how we write music would be Electric Mary.
Cool. No, that's good. I mean, there's probably a lot of people here who've never heard of them, like myself, until you mention them. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more people checking them out after this, which is great. I mean, you've got a Facebook fan page or fan group, SKAM Massive,
Yeah.
I believe. When can these guys expect a follow-up or a new album? Anyone soon, or once you guys get in the studio? Is there any plans? Any exclusives? No pressure? Over to you.
We are writing. We're currently writing. We are feeling the pressure of following up Goddard a little bit, because it came together nicely, the last album, and we feel like we want to make sure, we always want to push forward and do something that's better than what we've done before. So following Memoirs is going to be tricky.
Would you follow it with a similar, keep that theme going, or is it going to be totally unique?
I think we're in agreement that we're not going to do another concept record. We don't want to flog it to death.
Yeah.
But some of the ethos about what we did with the artwork, the imagery, are things that SKAM will keep now forever. I think that's what we want to do. So
if it works, why
taking that time, that effort to make sure that the package is there. I don't think we could ever go back from that now.
No. Behind everything we did for Goddard, like, we spent so much time actually crafting the songs, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
It's paid dividends though, you know, it seems to have anyway. Like I say, nearly a year old today, so happy anniversary, I guess. Listen guys, thanks for talking to us at Two Finger Media tonight. Have a fantastic show, first one in Reading, and yeah, great. We'll see you on stage soon.
Cheers buddy.
Cheers.
See you later.